Hey guys, it has been a minute. I am back to work. That's why it's been a minute. So I have finally healed up from my wrist surgery where I had a couple of broken bones going on in there. And now that I'm back to work, it took me a few days to kind of rebalance everything in my life and get stuff back to where it needs to be. So what we're talking about today is melt-proof makeup because it is hot. It is so freaking hot outside, and the humidity, I don't know about you, but it just makes my face just kind of, so I'm gonna go through an entire full face. You're seeing it now after it's complete, of humidity-proof, sweat-proof, how to make your face last all day makeup. If you're interested in seeing that and you wanna see what I did to get this look, stick around because we are getting into it right now. Okay, so we're gonna get started. I like to leave it just real simple when it comes to skincare. Even though skincare is really the foundation of making sure that everything goes on nicely, I feel like in summertime, the less layers of stuff on my face, the better. So I, if possible, will combine products. And one of my favorite things to combine is moisturizer and primer. This is the Milani SPF BFF. I've talked about this in other videos before. Really a nice combination product. You can even wear this one on its own without any foundation or anything over it, and it goes on nice and smooth. It's light. So this is my preferred one. If you really feel like you need to have a separate primer aside from your moisturizer, by all means, go ahead, do that. And I have a couple to suggest for you. And obviously when it comes to skincare, I would be remiss not to talk about sunscreen. So sunscreen should go on first, and then your moisturizer or primer or combination product, whatever it is that you're wanting to use. But if you do feel like you need a separate primer, I have two suggestions for you. Obviously in the summertime when you're sweating, you want something that's kind of mattifying. You want less moisture on your face. So in the world of makeup, somewhere somebody decided that mattifying primers would all be kind of listed as pore minimizing. So if you see anything that says pore filling, pore minimizing, these are going to be nice mattifying primers for you to use in the summertime. So the NYX pore filler primer is a good one. This is actually the smaller size. They have a little bit bigger one. And the other one is the Maybelline 4-in-1 Perfector. This, if you saw my video on it, which I will link somewhere around here, maybe over here, I'm just still not 100% sold on this product. Now this does have a little bit of tint to it. So when you put it on, there's going to be some color left behind. It by no means is providing a lot of coverage, but it sure is, almost said a bad word, it sure as heck will mattify your skin. So I like it for that purpose and that purpose alone. So, but those are two that I recommend if you are looking for something that is a mattifying primer. Again, that's the NYX Pore Filler and the Maybelline 4-in-1 Perfector. Moving on to foundation, and I'm going to pull my hair back so that I can get this out of my face. Okay, foundation. This is crazy, and I swear this is not like sponsored in any way. Nobody knows me from anybody to be able to even justify considering sponsoring me in any way, shape, or form. Look, I look like I'm glowing and sweating even in just this video. I'm telling y'all, it is humid. I have one brand of foundation that both in the liquid form and in the powder form is just, it's gonna get me through the whole summer. I absolutely love it. It's the Loreal Infallible, the liquid for if you have like combo or dry or normal skin. This is amazing. Right now I'm using the shade 460. This is a really nice one. And then also the L'Oreal Infallible Powder Foundation. I just went up a couple of notches in this. So this one is actually brand new, but the one that I've been using, this one is shade 130 and I jumped up to 20. We'll see how that's gonna look. Anyway, it is an awesome powder foundation. You can see this is the one that I've used. I haven't even opened this one yet. It's still sealed. And I think today, because it's so warm in here, I think that's the one that I'm gonna go with because I feel like I need I just need a little bit more, I need my face to calm down. It needs to calm down. So sometimes a trick that I will use when I'm doing a powder foundation, if I have peeling skin because of a sunburn or something like that, or maybe even if I'm just going to use powder foundation in a colder time of year and I've got dry skin because my skin kind of changes throughout the seasons, I like this Milani Rose Oil. It is their Prep and Brighten Rose. I believe they have another scent, but this one is my favorite. And it's a little, this jar is gonna last you forever. It's got this nice little dropper in it, and I will take just a little bit and put it on my fingertip. I'm telling you, you don't need much of this to go a long way. Rub it in between, and I get dry around my hairline. I'm not really peeling too bad or anything right now, but I am anticipating that this powder foundation is just gonna get a little dry in those sections just from experience. So I'm gonna give that a minute to kind of like dry and absorb in. And then I'm gonna go in with my, I'm gonna open the new one actually. Let's see how this color match is. This is the one that again is shade 220, I would say. So here it is, brand new. And let's see about swatching that, right? So this is the shade 130. And I'm just gonna go in there. You see it on the fingertip. They just don't look, I guess they do look different. And here we go. And you can blend powder foundations too. It's not like with liquid foundations where you can like pour them into your palm and a couple different kinds and mix it up and get the right color for you, but you can blend powder foundations too simply by sticking your brush in both pans. Swirl it a little in one and then swirl it a little more in the other and put it on your skin. So we're gonna see how this looks. I use the IT Cosmetics powder foundation, like kabuki style brush, and I'm probably labeling this wrong, but you can see what the brush looks like. See, it just takes just a little bit, and it is, I would say, a solid medium coverage. I feel like I need just a little bit more over this red area. And that's really it. And you can see I'm hitting it right now in the area where I've put that oil. And in looking up in my close-up mirror, it looks perfect. There is really no flaking skin or anything. So I think that's a nice shade match. I bring it down just a little bit under my chin, down my neckline, because even though I have color everywhere, it seems like the undersection of the neck just kind of always stays pale. And in my camera, that color looks horrible. It looks like yellowy. That's nice. Well, looks better in person. Right. If you want more of a luminous finish, then I would go with the liquid. I could get away with the liquid today, but I would use a dampened sponge in my application and go kind of light on it. But this is all around in general, just a nice breathable, lightweight foundation. And I feel the same way about the powder version of it too. It is transfer resistant. I wouldn't say transfer proof because what really is, it's water resistant. Again, not necessarily anything out there that's waterproof when it comes to foundation, but it is water resistant. It is sweat resistant. And that's what we're looking for on these hot summer days. Okay, so moving on to bronzer, I have two bronzers to recommend for you. I've got a powder and a cream, kind of like I did the two different styles of foundation for you. The powder is so basic and so great. This is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer, and mine is in Forever Sunkissed. That's the shade of it. And it's actually got primer in it when they make it, and it does stay. It really does. So I've got this brush that I use for my bronzer. Just do a little bit. Now, I've got a tan going on now, so I don't feel like I need to put a whole lot, but just to kind of help define some cheekbones and do a little bit of sculpting of the face here. I'm just hitting some corners, creating some shadows, and that's it. And then the rest that's left on it, I bring down below. Boom, done. e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer. Really good stuff. the other bronzer that I have to talk about, I'm not going to use because I don't necessarily care for cream products over on top of powder products, but this is the NYX Wonder Stick. Also comes with, so this is the bronzer side. Okay. A nice shade of like a beigey tan. And then the other side has a highlighting side. So you can do contouring with this as well. Contour and bronzer, while two different products, if you're not interested in using two different things, they're kind of interchangeable. Again, we're talking about keeping a limited amount of products on your skin because it's hot outside, right? Moving on to blush. And here we are again with the two different styles of product. So I recently purchased this and I don't think that it has anything on it for its advertising or marketed in any way, shape, or form to be something that says it's long lasting. But I found that it actually is. This is Watermelon. This is their blush and highlighter combo palette. And it is so cute. It's just the simplest color. Now, I do find that I need to put a lot on the brush. So since it's such a small thing, I kind of pinch the brush together at the end. Get a nice amount of product on there. I'm gonna hit it again. I hope that's showing up on camera how pretty it is. It's just a basic kind of a corally, they call it watermelon, but kind of a corally pink blush. Hit it again. And this highlighter that's on here, oof, you do not need a lot of that. A little goes a long way. So I will show you. Here is, oof, yeah, that was just like a little bit of on my fingertip there. And it is not messing around. The other blush that I'm going to show you, you're going to be super amazed, right? But it's a cream blush. Not using it because, again, powder foundation today. But if you're going to use a liquid foundation, or if you find that you're able to make cream blushes work just fine over powder bases, by all means, knock yourselves out. I'm actually going to do just a little bit more blush, just because I want it to kind of go over that highlighter. It makes it look like you have a bit of just kind of a natural glow coming through. And plus, I just really like this color. The cream blush that I wanted to mention, this is from the Honest Company, and I picked mine up at Target. This is their cream cheek and lip color, and mine is in the shade Rose Petal. It's so pretty. It's really, really a nice blush, and I use it, just not very often, because I always, out of habit, I think, go, look how pretty that is, and it's a little bit of a luminous finish on its own. I need to use that more often. I like that so much. So that's the one that I would recommend. Cream blushes do leave you just kind of a nice luminous finish in general anyway. And in the summer, when we're sweating, let's face it, we're going to be luminous. Let's just call sweaty. Being sweaty is from now on luminous, all right? Spread the word. It's a movement. The next thing I want to move on to is my brow. Now, I have to give major credit to Maybelline because they have, in their tattoo studio line for brow products, they must have 5 different things. And depending on what your interest is, like I am a brow pencil person through and through, you can find whatever you want, be it pomades or tinted gels. They have all different kinds of things. And I have tried different things, and my brow journey has been just that. It has been a journey. So I don't want to get super crazy and trying new things when I'm running the risk of things either moving around on me because I'm sweating or staying forever and not looking very good because it's one of these tattoo studio line products. So I got the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow 36-hour pigment pencil. That's a long name. And I messed around with this earlier. I have not used this in my brows yet. I messed around with it earlier, though, swatching, and left it on for quite some time, along with a couple other things that I will mention here shortly. And this sucker did not budge, so I'm excited to try this. I think it's going to be a good color. This is their shade Blonde, and I just kind of like to make hair-like strokes throughout the brow. I feel like that looks the most natural. Now this is, I went a little wild here, hold on. This is going on all right. So I feel like with the way that this pencil is shaped, or maybe it's the texture of it, I feel like if I go over an area I already did, it's just going to muddy it up. I'm not going to get that look of like brow hairs. Yeah. It may not look bad on camera, but I'm pretty critical about that with the close-up mirror I have. So I'm going to take my little brow comb that's on the end of my discontinued Sephora pencil. And just kind of comb the product through the actual brow. I like this product, but it doesn't give me necessarily the like super individualized hair appearance of hairs that I usually go for. But that's okay, that's all right. And then to kind of seal the deal even more, for the sake of it being like hot and humid and your face is gonna melt off, NYX Thick It Stick It. I did a video on this. I will put a link to it up here in the cards, maybe over here. Again, I really got to figure out what YouTube does with where the placement is. But this Thick It Stick It stuff, once you put this in your brows, they aren't moving. I don't find that it leaves a lot as far as color goes. Now mine is not necessarily a dark shade. Is this the blonde or the taupe? It's taupe. But it does leave something, and it makes the brow hairs themselves stay in place. And right now we are really looking for long distance wear. Okay. Now moving on to eyeshadow. My suggestion for eyeshadow in the hot summer months is just don't. But if you're anything like me, you're going to. So obviously a good eyeshadow primer is key here. My favorite, my go-to is the Marc Jacobs, and this one is, why do I always forget the name of this? This is the Marc Jacobs Undercover Perfecting Coconut Eye Primer. This is nice. I really, really like this stuff. And you only need just the tiniest amount. See that? See that? So tiny. And the look that I'm gonna do is just a lid color and then spreading it a little bit into my crease. So I'm just applying it in those areas. All right, so the secret to doing eyeshadow in the summertime, having long-lasting eyeshadow, is to use a cream shadow. Don't try to go for these exorbitant, exaggerated looks where you've got 5 or 6 different colors on the lid and things like smoked out and spreading into each other. Like you can, but the lasting power is what we're talking about again here, folks. So I have 2 different kinds that I think are fantastic. The Revlon, I have 2 of the Revlon ColorStay ones. Mine are in, I'll just keep these readers on, number 740 and 705. And then the other one that I like is the Maybelline Color Tattoo Studio. You can't find any of these in the metallic line anymore. I've looked all over for them, and I guess they've discontinued that. But this one is in the shade High Roller. And I'll swatch each of these so you can kind of see what they look like going on. It's a nice, simple, creamy, oh, I just like it very much. High roller. It's kind of a brownish gold color. I wish it was a little more brown, but that's all right. And this is the Revlon ColorStay in 705, right? Yep, 705. Going on right next to high roller. You could use that as a long-lasting highlight. That's really pretty too. And then finally, the Revlon ColorStay in 740. There we go. This has a nice light purple sheen to it, which with the right deep skin tone, that could also be a beautiful highlight on somebody. So those are the kinds of shadows you want to work with. And these are the shadows that I had swatched earlier in the day just to play with as far as like color and stuff goes. And they last, like they weren't budging. They were not going anywhere. So I am going to use, sorry. Today I am going to use the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade High Roller. And I'm just going to take with my fingertip and just lightly press that onto my lid. And then I'm just going to lightly bring it up into the crease. And somehow I managed to get some under my eye. And do it on this side. It's such a pretty, just simple wash of color. All right, so there's that. And I'm gonna take the 705 shade of the Revlon ColorStay. I'm gonna give this a minute to kind of set on my eyes here, and then I'm gonna take just a little tiny bit of that nice white shimmery 705 and go in just like the inner corner, kind of center area of this. Let's just see how that behaves on top of it. It doesn't really do much. Let's do a little, let's do more. I just don't think that that did much at all. See, all the more reasons supporting what I already said about don't get crazy with a bunch of different colors. So that's what we're talking about as far as eyeshadow goes. Cream shadow products are your best friend in the summertime. As far as liner goes, we are going in with my go-to Physicians Formula Eye Booster. They have this, here I am like wiping all this extra stuff everywhere. They have this also in a waterproof one. I just don't care for it that much. They only make it in black, not the brown that I like. This one is in the brown shade. Simple, smooth, and not going anywhere. Absolutely one of my favorite, if not my favorite, eyeliners out there. So anyway, the waterproof one, I felt like it just went on a little bit messier than this one does. And this one does a pretty good job of, I wouldn't say it's waterproof, but it stays. Like it's not transferring or anything. No big wings or anything crazy today because it's hot and we're keeping it simple. I'm not trying to set myself up for failure here. Okay, I think that looks fairly even. You know, when you mess up on one side and you get a little bit thicker line than you want to, so then you have to go to the other side and intentionally basically mess up that side. That looked just fine too. Yeah, that's where we're at. I like that. Now, moving on to mascara, you have, obviously, we want to be looking at a waterproof mascara, right? So I have two that I love from the drugstore and could not narrow it down. So the first is the Lash Paradise, their waterproof formula. This is a L'Oreal Voluminous one. Lash Paradise hit the market, what, 2-3 years ago and just took it by storm. And it is still a really good mascara. I find that they dry out very quickly though. Haven't had that same issue with their waterproof version though. So this is my preferred one to go to. The other one that I like very much is the new Maybelline Colossal Curl Bounce mascara. This is a nice one too. So this is, let's compare their brushes. That maybe might help me decide which one I want to use today. So this is Colossal Curl. And this is the Lash Paradise. This is a straight brush, and this one has a little bit of a curve to it. But we're going to use the Lash Paradise today because it's probably my favorite waterproof. A couple of years ago, I tried all the different waterproof mascaras because I was looking for one that actually would not be a mess on my watery eyes. And this is the one that won. Glistening look, right? Clean lash cream. And that is just about, oh gosh, I don't want to say perfect, but it's pretty good. I just have one little section I want to fix with my little tiny scissor that I'm telling you, please don't do this to yourself. And then we are good to go for lashes. Like, I don't even have any transfer that's occurred even in the cleanup process of running through the comb through there. So that's pretty awesome. And then this is kind of exciting. I have one of the Maybelline, as far as, okay, so we're talking about lips here. So this is the liquid lip from Maybelline. It's their Superstay Vinyl Ink. And these are hard to find. Like, I had to order the first one I got, which is in the shade Lippy, online. And then this one, I finally found a stash of them in CVS today. I never really go into CVS, but now I have found a new location in my town that had just an incredible amount of different things. So if you're looking for it, check out your local CVS, see if they have it. This is the one in the shade Cheeky, and you want to make sure that you shake them up really well before you use it. And this is brand new. I haven't used this color yet, so I'm kind of excited we're trying this together. But I do know that the formula of these is fantastic, and for long wearing, it's good. And I don't really care for matte liquid lips, and I feel like this one is doable. There's something about it. It's just more comfortable. And I can put, here it is coming out. I can put, swatch it a little bit for you here. Oh, pretty. It's a really nice nude pink. Ooh, I'm excited to try this one. I think without a liner, because I just want to see how this color goes on. I know with the other one, the Cheeky one, it's kind of a darker, it's a bit of a red color. So, ooh, I just kicked my camera, sorry. So I feel like you need that, I think you need that liner. And let's see what this one looks like. Like, just shut up and put it on your face. I'm going to go in with the second coat. I was trying to decide today if I wanted to get this one or the peachy finish, and I think I like this one. I think I got the right color. I do really like that lippy shade that I have, but it's just a little bit more dramatic, and I'm not trying for that today. I like this. I like the whole look. Like, I think it's come together nicely. The thing about liquid lipsticks is that as you're having to like rehydrate so much throughout the day. These aren't gonna like crack and start fading away on you with wear. They stay on nicely. And I can tell you that the lippy one that I only had to reapply one time for the whole day, and that was after I ate lunch. I think I posted some pictures for that on my Instagram, so check that out if you want to see what that looks like on me. But this is a nice one too. It's so simple. Oh, I like it. Okay, and then obviously the last step for having a melt-proof face in this hot, humid weather that we're getting into now is setting spray. And depending on what you want to do with your finish, do you want it to be mattified? Do you want more of a glistening, like luminous type finish? Would differentiate between what product I would recommend to you. So setting sprays come in a variety of different formats, but in the summertime, if you're really looking to not sweat through your makeup and not have that constant feeling like you have to touch up things or dab and wipe away, then I would say that you want to go with a mattifying one. And I have two mattifying ones that are good. First is the NYX matte finish, and the other one is the Milani Make It Last matte finish. So if this is all you want to do, that's all you're looking for, is to have just kind of a nice matte, you're not going to sweat through, then this is where you can just apply a couple of squirts on this and then be done. It's got a nice mister on it. Now, if you're extra like me and you want more of a glistening type finish, not necessarily like a shiny finish, but more of a nice like glow to you, and then I would recommend the e.l.f. Stay All Night. This one is their dupe for the Urban Decay one, that their Urban Decay one that lasts really long time, but we're just talking drugstore here. So the Urban Decay one is good, but this is the dupe for it. This is the drugstore dupe. And if you want to be, like I said, extra like me, use both. I feel like when I go in with just a couple of squirts of a mattifying finishing spray first, and then hit it with a couple of squirts of something that's a little bit more of a dewy finish, not only am I getting additional staying power, but the finish is just, I don't know how to describe it. It's nice. It's nice. It look good. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you watched the whole video, I hope that you found something from it useful, and make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching through the whole video and subscribing to my channel. And if you have anything that you suggest in the summer to help make your routine last longer, please put it in the comments down below, because I'm real curious to hear what you guys have to say. Have a good one. Bye.